Change. We need it now. In 2019, there were more mass shootings than days. According to the Gun Violence Archive, 417 mass shootings occurred by the end of the year. Oftentimes, when these shootings occur, mental illness is often written off as the reason these innocent lives were taken. However, I must disagree with this. I absolutely believe mental health issues are a factor in some of these shootings and that this definitely needs to be addressed, but so is the prevalence of a firearm. Gun violence is so normalized in the United States that I'm no longer surprised when I turn on the television and see that another mass shooting has occurred. At each press conference, we hear the same lines. We send our condolences to the families affected in today's shooting. But where is the change? I don't care to hear the "I'm sorry for your loss" or "I send my condolences" anymore. I want to see actual change. Americans deserve to see change. The loved ones of those lost to gun violence deserve to know that their family members' lives matter and that they'll get justice. Justice that goes beyond the perpetrator being captured and arrested. No one should live in fear of dropping their children off to school like any other day, and that being the last time they see their child alive. We live in a country where, while enjoying a movie with loved ones, someone can walk into the theaters and take lives. Nothing changed, and months later, children face the same horror at the hands of gun violence. Stricter gun control is the only way to reduce the gun violence in America. Too many people die every day due to gun violence, and nothing is ever done. No one should fear going to school or the movies or Bible study. We should be able to live our lives without having to look over our shoulders for someone wielding a gun and wishing to do harm on others. The Gun Violence Archive defines a mass shooting as when 4 or more individuals are shot and or killed in a single event at the same general time and location, not including the shooter. As of January 3rd, 3 days into the new year, there has already been 6 mass shootings with 5 deaths and 25 injuries. 3 days into the new year. If this doesn't show you just how crucial gun control is in America, I'm not sure what will. Let's discuss a few specific examples of mass shootings that have occurred in the last few years. Between 2009 and 2018, the deadliest mass shootings all involved assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. The deadliest of which was the 2017 Las Vegas shooting. On October 1st, 2017, Stephen Paddock opened fire upon 20,000 people at the Route 91 Music Festival from the window of his hotel room at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. With the help of over 24 firearms, including assault weapons with high-capacity magazines, in just 10 minutes, Paddock murdered 61 concertgoers and injured over 400 others. The fact is, Paddock obtained all of these weapons legally. The Pulse nightclub shooting is another example of a mass shooting that involved the use of an assault weapon. Omar Mateen used a semi-automatic rifle and a 9mm Glock 17 semi-automatic pistol to murder 49 people and injure 53 more in Orlando, Florida. Unlike Paddock, Mateen displayed warning signs and was even on the FBI's radar a few years prior for claiming to be a member of Hezbollah, an Islamist militant group, and having family connections to Al-Qaeda. He was reportedly tied to the perpetrators of the Fort Hood shooting and the Boston Marathon bombing. However, Mateen was not prohibited from purchasing guns. How is that possible? He was able to legally purchase these firearms despite the red flags. Unfortunately, this is not uncommon for individuals with dangerous warning signs to be involved in mass shootings of such magnitude. Warning signs are also missed in the Emmanuel AIM Church shooting and the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. Despite the fact that white supremacist and neo-Nazi Dylan Roof also displayed warning signs and was prohibited from purchasing firearms, he was still able to do so. And on June 17, 2015, he attended a Bible study at the Emmanuel AIM Church in Charleston, South Carolina, and murdered 9 churchgoers, including the state senator Clementa Pinckney. With the help of the Charleston loophole, Roof was able to purchase a gun from his father in a private transaction without having a completed background check. Being that South Carolina does not require background checks for private gun transactions, this was perfectly legal. The last mass shooting I will be discussing will be the heartbreaking Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting that ended with the deaths of 20 first graders and 6 faculty members. Unbeknownst to me, at least 54% of the mass shootings involve the perpetrator shooting an intimate partner or family member. This is what sets this shooting apart from the others I mentioned. The morning of the shooting on December 14, 2012, Adam Lanza fatally shot his mother while she was sleeping. He then left his child at home and drove to Sandy Hook Elementary School where his mother worked and took the lives of those 26 innocent women and children. His motive for this shooting was that he believed his mother loved these elementary school children more than him. Because of this, he used guns that he legally obtained to commit this crime. Of all of the mass shootings, this one struck me the hardest because of the innocent children whose lives he took, ages 6 to 7 years old. After this shooting occurred and no change came regarding gun control, I felt that it was likely to never happen. I have some hope that change will come, but the more these shootings keep occurring and the more lives that continue to be taken, the less and less hope I have for change. The only solution I feel will address the issue of gun violence in the United States is passing and enforcing stricter gun laws that will reduce any access to dangerous weapons. Everytown, a nonprofit organization that advocates for gun control, suggests several ways to reduce gun violence, and I found that these would be extremely effective. Prohibiting individuals with dangerous records from accessing firearms and requiring gun dealers to inform authorities when an individual with a dangerous history attempts to purchase a gun are the two suggestions that I found would be the most effective. Enforcing risk laws that allow family members and law enforcement to intervene and petition courts for an order that would temporarily prevent someone at risk from accessing guns would definitely be a help to reduce gun suicides. This has already been proven to be effective, according to a Times article about the reduction of gun violence in America. A 2017 study in Law and Contemporary Problems estimated that in Connecticut, every 10 to 20 gun seizures averted a suicide. The last suggestion that I believe is more than worth mentioning is the closure of legal loopholes that allow individuals to purchase guns without a background check or with dangerous records. I am more than certain that with these solutions, gun violence in America would be substantially reduced and lives will be saved. Is completely ending gun violence possible? In a perfect world, yes, but the world we call home is far from perfect. I'm not sure ending gun violence completely is ever going to be possible, but I am confident enough to say that with the suggestions I provided in this speech, reducing gun violence is possible and could have been accomplished way before now. Stricter gun control is the only way to protect the lives of Americans who face gun violence every day. I urge you to contact your elected representatives and demand their support for gun control legislation. Go out and vote. Change can only occur when we all get out and do our part. Demand your voice be heard. Demand the voices of those lost to gun violence be heard. To end this speech, here's a quote from a survivor of the Las Vegas mass shooting, Gina Morano. While I have no physical scars, I have had increased anxiety and hypervigilance in my daily life since that day. Outdoor events are difficult for me, and I constantly think of an escape plan wherever I am. We need change, so no one has to be afraid of fireworks ever again. Thank you.